Hello there, my wonderfuls and my lovelies on Facebook. And hello there to you, my Instagram gorgeous peeps on Insta. It's so good to be here with you. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the Interior Design Advocate. And that is because I advocate on behalf of design lovers everywhere to wipe out the ugly room, get rid of the disappointing result, and to empower you, finally, to get the exact decorating and design result that you want in your home. Period. End of story. So if you are a lover of design, you're in the right place. Every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, we stop what we're doing here at my luxury design studio and I teach you a lesson on something. And then we take questions on that something as well. All right, so what are we talking about today? This is our last Facebook Live for this year. We're going to take a couple weeks off, as I hope you will too, for the holidays. Well, we're in the season of light. So talking about light seems to be the right thing to do. Looks like we're having trouble here. So I'm going to end this. Hang on for a second. Sorry, create that lighting plan for you. Now, I will say that there are some people in the design industry as well who feel that recessed lighting is not good looking. They don't like the look of these little spots in the ceiling. I have to say that I'm in a different camp. I kind of look at that the way I look at a flat screen above a fireplace. Honestly, I feel like this is the 21st century. We need to deal with electronics. We need to deal with lighting or illuminating our spaces. So recessed lights don't bother me in a ceiling. I will say that I prefer when they're well aligned, when they're lined up, in a straight pattern, straight grid. Sometimes your electrician is going to tell you, look, I've got a problem. There's a floor joist in the way. I can't get here. So I've got to move the can here, left or right. It's going to create an odd look. Not ideal when that happens, but it can happen. So again, I would absolutely rely on your professionals for your lighting layout when it comes to recessed lighting. And Facebook, I have no idea if you're able to get to me, really, where I'm on. Oh, I'm on. I see no picture in my feed, but yay, I'm on. Sorry, girls. We're talking about lighting, the season of light. I'm Donna Hoffman, the Interior Design Advocate. You guys know that already. Hang on one sec. Every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, we are here with Facebook Live, and today I am teaching about lighting for your home. We're in the season of light. Let's talk about lighting. So we just talked about recessed lighting. The fact that cans can be from 3 inches to 6 inches, 3 to 4 inches are the most popular specified sizes now. The inside of the can can go anything from the color black to silvers to whites. Not going to get into all of that from a design perspective. I would really need some visuals to be able to share with you. So right now, we've already started on Instagram. Sorry about the technical problems here. But I was saying that you really want to describe to your lighting professional what kind of quality light you want so that you can have them create the proper layout for you with your lighting. But beyond recessed lighting, so that's your general room ambient lighting. You also have a very important second layer of lighting, and that is your lamp lighting. And some people call that your mood lighting or your task lighting. It's really both. And within lamps, oh my goodness, there are a range of heights of lamps. And if you've been lamp shopping, you might be scratching your head saying, gosh, what should I be looking for right now? I don't even know. So let's break down the world of lamps for you. So we're going to do it by height rather than by style. I'm not going to get into lampshade style again, that we would need to have a much more visual presentation together, you and I. And these Tuesday afternoon chats are really more like a conversation that we have, right? I don't get very visual in these. In my free workshops and in my paid courses, we're very visual, but this is just a weekly check-in. So let's talk about the lamps that you're seeing out in the world in terms of the type and when you use them. So the small lamps, if you want to think of them as small, medium, large, you can, I suppose, but a small lamp would really be considered an accent lamp. And an accent lamp would be anything that's about 24, 23 inches and shorter. When do you use a little short lamp? Well, on a desk, you might want a little accent of something pretty that also throws light. Not necessarily a work light, but just a really pretty little light. There's one. Maybe on the back of a console table, you want to have some shorter lamps so that you're not staring up into the bulb, right? So you might do two 20-inch lamps, really handsome. So It's just a little moment. It's a little it's partially jewelry, partially light that you're doing. It's not a super task light, a little accent lamp. It might be something on a foyer chest that you just want to be able to illuminate at night, so there's a little extra light spill when you're going through your foyer. So accent lamps are your smaller lamps, and they can be very pretty decorative pieces. Then your mid-size is really what you call a table lamp. And table lamps, these are the things that you're going to put next to your bed. You're going to put them next to your sofa on end tables. These are the things you can put on a foyer, a hall table as well. So these lamps, by and large, average size is about 28 inches. Can you see things in 26 and 27? You can, or even 25, you can. But average that I like to do next to a bed or next to a sofa is about a 28-inch lamp, and that is from the base of the lamp up to the top of the finial. Just usually they will give you that measurement, so it's at the finial, which is that little piece that breaks above your lampshade. So just take that and keep that in mind when you're looking at these sizes. So if you think about where we are when we sit in a piece of furniture, most seat heights are at 19 inches. And if you think about where we comfortably need light when we're doing a lamp, when we're doing a floor lamp, when we're doing a hung fixture, usually it's 65 inches off the floor. That's about where you want your light source. So it makes sense if you've got a 24-inch tall end table that, yeah, you're probably going to put about a 30-inch lamp there. You're getting in that 50-ish range inches off the floor for comfortable lighting for reading or whatever it is you're going to do, okay? One word of caution when you're selecting your table lamps for flanking a sofa: if you do not have the same height table on either side of your sofa, be prepared. Your lamps are not going to be at the same height. That bothers some design lovers, others it doesn't. Just expect it so you won't be surprised by it, okay? So we've got the small lamps, which are accent lamps really, and those are like that 23, 24 below. And then you have table lamps, which are 25 to about 30, 31. And that would be something for end tables, nightstands, and such. And then you've got your tall lamps, and those are buffet lamps. And those are generally really thin lamps, very tall, and they're usually 30 inches plus, up to 40 inches plus. But I would say the most common buffet lamp size is going to be, you're going to see a lot of 32-inch talls, a lot of 34s, and some 36s out there. Will you see every once in a while a super dramatic 40-inch something? Yeah, you will. But that, by and large, is the basic. And then beyond that, you also have floor lamps. And floor lamps are going to be anywhere generally in height from 58 inches to about 63, 64 inches. Now, can you find some that are a little bit lower than that? Yeah, sometimes in a really modern room, you'll see flanking a sofa, a really interesting reading light that is a floor light, and those can be a little bit shorter. But for the most part, that 58 to 65 is where you're going to see most of your floor lamps. And then the other light that I think kind of is a mystery for people are sconces. And a sconce kind of is a lamp that comes out of the wall. But here's the thing with sconces, and I just had a conversation with a client about this yesterday. Sconce lighting is not really task lighting unless it's a swing arm lamp. And you put that swing arm next to a bed, or you put that swing arm next to a sofa, and it is in place of a table lamp. But for the most part, sconce lighting throws a wash of light up on the wall, up at the wall, and then down the wall. It's not illuminating for you to do anything task-wise. So sconces are really great as accent pieces to run through a space if you want to run them down a hallway or put them through a media room. Can you use them on either side of a sofa? You can. Can you use them on either side of a fireplace mantle? You can. Here's why I'm kind of hesitating a little bit, because whatever you frame with sconces has to be important. You got to make sure it's really worth framing, something really fabulous, right? If you're putting it in that type of specific setup, if you're not doing a row of 4 of them down a hall, right? If you're just doing this pair, you're kind of saying, hey, look at me. Sometimes people will do them on either side of a front door. They're framing the front door, fabulous. But where I kind of hesitate with this client, we were talking about sconces because she wants some sconces in her home. And I said the first place I would look to do them would not be above your fireplace, because now I'm limited to how big the artwork can be, and ditto above a buffet in a dining room. I prefer buffet lamps to sconces. Again, that's just me. I just think you back yourself into a bit of a corner when you've done sconces on your wall. So that's what I would say about sconces. But listen, sconces are really popular out for outdoor lighting, like lanterns, right? Most of you have something like that, maybe on the outside of your home by your front door. So recessed lighting in the ceiling, that's giving you your general ambient lighting in a room, and then your task lighting. And also I think part of the mood is in that lamp lighting. If possible, I would get your fixtures like chandeliers, pendants, your recessed. If possible, I would get it on a dimmer. We just did a little socially distanced holiday something with our team, and I took the lighting in the room and I just dimmed things down a little bit because we had candles lit. So it's nice if you can do that, because as I said when I first started this live with you, lighting is very much a driver of mood and temperature in a room. So having that dimmer option is really great to do. So then the last piece of lighting that confuses everybody are your hung fixtures, right? So here again, would prefer to have a more visual opportunity for you. In one of my online courses, Design CPR, Creating Perfect Rooms with Accessories, I do go into lighting and I do go into visuals on it. So just this will be like a little quick recap without the visuals. So you have fixtures for ceiling fixtures that just hug the ceiling very tight, right? That's called a flush mount. And that is just allows a ton of traffic underneath. It's for an area where you don't have a lot of overhead room. And then you have something called a semi-flush mount, where that bowl kind of drops a little bit off the ceiling. That's another option. And then from there you get into your chandeliers, right? So that can be either in a center hall, or it can be in a living room or over a dining table. And of course, that's a whole big discussion, how wide, how long, etc. things need to be. And then you have pendants, which are smaller fixtures that usually will either go over a kitchen island, or they can also flank a bed if you want, instead of having lamp lighting. And you can also use sconces to flank the mirror in a powder room if you wish as well. I've done all of those things. So bigger discussion there in terms of size and such. Ideally, you want all the layers. You want something in that ceiling to broadcast wonderful general light, ambient light. And then from there, you need your fixtures and your lamps. Do all of that and you are pretty much golden. Alrighty. So if you have a question and you'd like to pass it forward to me, I'd be happy to take it, as long as I don't need a calculator or a picture or an electrician to be able to answer you. I can answer you really more about the design aesthetic on things than I can about some of the more electrical issues with lighting. I have no feed whatsoever on Facebook. So yes, I do. I have a feed. Oh, I have a feed. I have a feed on Facebook. Doesn't look like I really do have a lot of feeds. So if you have a question, pop it in there and I'm happy to answer you. I just want to let you know also, while we're taking this pause for you to put in your questions, next week we are not doing a Facebook Live because I'm taking some time off for the holiday, and I hope you are too. But we will be back in January, on January 5th, which is a Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we are kicking off with a great topic: how to set yourself up for design success in 2021. How to set yourself up for interior design success in your home for 2021. And if you missed any portion of this Facebook Live, and Insta Live, you can find us on YouTube. Just go to the Interior Design Advocate. And if you are not already following us at our luxury design studio, I hope you will. That's not it. Hope you will, at IDH Designs. That's at IDH Designs for our luxury design studio. And then for my teaching brand, the Interior Design Advocate, at decorating.genius, which you're already there. There it is, at decorating.genius. So if you have questions about lighting, I'm happy to take them. And if not, we will skedaddle out of here early, because I've got places to go and people to see before we end our work day here. So Margie is saying, thank you for all of your ideas in design. Margie, you are so welcome. Fernanda is saying, I have a rustic cottage. Can I put a beautiful chandelier in a dining room? Fernanda, no matter what your design style, you want to make sure that whatever you do in your dining room is something that you love, something that is proportionally correct for the size of your table, the size of the room, size of the table, really, if it's over a dining table. When you say, can you do a beautiful chandelier? Technically, any fixture that hangs overhead over your table would be called a chandelier, even if it's very rustic in style. Would I do something that's super duper crystally? No. Here's the thing about your lighting. Your light fixtures, whether they're chandeliers, pendants, sconces, lamps, they have to be in conversation with the design style that you're working in, right? So have I seen some really great chandelier fixtures for a rustic cottage dining room that have a little bit of metal to them, but a little teeny bit of bling on them, like a very controlled amount? I have, and they could be really good looking. But would I do something that's, you know, super blingy in cottage rustic? I wouldn't. So just make sure, Fernanda, that you are continuing the through line, getting hearts on that, when you're continuing your through line design style wise from room to room. And guys, think about, this is one of the big things that young designers in professional design get shut down on. You always have to think about, what am I seeing when I'm standing here looking at my dining light fixture in Fernanda's house? What am I seeing in the room beyond? What is that light fixture doing? What's in the adjoining hallway? What am I going to see when I walk off into the kitchen? You have to make sure that there's enough of a through line, not matching. You don't want matchy-matchy. This is not Garanimals, but there should be conversation. They should be happily wed, right? Whether it's the finishes that are similar or the same, design sensibility, weight, style. You want to make sure that there's a good marriage there, okay? Here's a question coming in from Sharon Rudd Styles on Instagram. Donna, on floor lamps, is it okay to put one at the end of a sofa instead of an end table with a lamp? Yes, absolutely, Sharon. In fact, I do that. Sometimes I will have a lamp on a table on one side of a sofa, and then on the other side, just a really great looking floor lamp. Why not? Definitely, 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 you can do that. Yes, resounding yes on that. No problem. Thinking outside the box, Sharon. I like it. More questions coming in. Hang on. From Lynn McKiernan on Insta. What type of bulbs work best for lamps in a family room? Sometimes the color of the bulbs are weird. I honestly just try to approximate a 60-watt bulb for those family rooms, and I try to stay in and around the 3000 Kelvin range, period, end of story. You know, that Kelvin range can go from 2500, I think, up to about like 7500. And you go from yellower into cooler and whiter, right? I think that 3000, sometimes 4, but generally 3000, that's where we're specifying a lot of the homes that we're working in, like large new builds and stuff. It's just a very clean, clear light. That's my short answer on that. Hopefully that helps you enough to demystify the bulb thing. Alrighty, Kathy Morrison Cox is saying, is the size of a chandelier determined by the size of the room or the size of the table? Good question, Kathy. Your dining table lights have to be in relationship to the table over which it's hung, right? It's when you're doing a room fixture that you're thinking about the size of the room. But a table fixture, you're always thinking about the size of the table to determine what that light fixture size should be. That said, if you are doing a fixture, let's say in a large family room, and you're doing a single fixture and you're hanging high, you can a safe way to start finding that is to take your room length and divide it by 5 in inches. That should give you a starting point. The place where that formula falls apart a little bit is if I'm doing a light fixture in a bedroom over a bed, I start to think about the size of the bed as well as the size of the room. So it's a little bit of both when you're putting that together, but the most important thing for all of you to hear is that it's important that the height of your fixture is not breaking too low in your room, right? The time it breaks low is over a dining table because nobody's passing under it. And it can break a little lower if it's over a bed because nobody's walking under it. And it can break a little lower if you're putting it in a living room and you're kind of centering it over your cocktail table, your coffee table. It can be a little lower, but not super low, not as low as a dining table light, right? So the whole thing about chandeliers is, for the most part, the taller they get, the wider they start to get, right? Now the exception to that rule is lamps, drum shade fixtures, and something called a Sputnik. They tend to spread wide, those fixtures, and not tall. So that's where you're gonna struggle sometimes, finding something of the right width that isn't too tall if you're working in like an 8-foot ceiling room. Kathy, I hope I answered you well, kiddo. If not, send in a follow-up. Sandra's saying, what is your view of the style of a wagon wheel light? I feel like it's a farmhouse style, but I see it in all decors. Yeah, so, Sandra, that's such a good question. The delivery of something is as important to its style. So, for example, you can do a wagon wheel light literally out of a wagon. It can be very rustic and looking. But I'm showing a variation of a wagon wheel light in a very modern finish. It's like 54 inches wide to a client for a really big space. And it doesn't feel rustic at all. It feels kind of cool. So it depends on the material something is done in. If you've been in any of my online courses, if you've been in any of my free workshops, in one of them I talk about the power of color and material to really affect how you perceive something. So the material in this wagon wheel fixture that Sandra's talking about can affect as much as your perception of its style as the name itself, right? So did I answer you well, Sandra? It's such a workable, usable fixture architecturally, Sandra. That's why you're seeing it in so many different decors, and there are so many variations on it too. Send me a follow-up, Sandra, if you have another more specific question. Carmen Alana Griffith is saying, is it weird? I already like this question. I already like Carmen. Is it weird to have just one sconce on a wall to the left of a fireplace? Yes. In an open concept room, if you're not wanting to put a floor lamp there? Yes. I need soft light at night and the overhead is too bright. There's a storage bench underneath. Carmen, without seeing a picture, my knee-jerk reaction is that I think it sounds strange. I'd have to see it, but one sconce is a little odd to me in the way you're describing it. In fact, I generally do sconces in pairs or more, multiples. Sconces are really, guys, sconces are really decorative lights. They're more decoration than light fixture, honestly, from a functional perspective. So Lisa and Carmen, if you have a more specific question, feel free to throw it in there or follow up. Lisa is saying, do you like Cree lights? I don't know what a Cree light is, Lisa. You stumped me. I don't know. Oh, Cree is built to last 25,000 hours or 25 times longer than the typical incandescent light bulbs. Are you selling them, Lisa? Is that what you're asking me? I don't know enough about them to tell you if I like them or not. So if somebody has an opinion on Cree lights to help Lisa, pop it in. We'll get it out there. Steph Kinsey is saying, do you suggest 10-foot ceiling versus 9-foot on the main level when building a new home to better accommodate light fixtures? 10-foot feels so good. If you can do 10, do a 10. 10 is good. If it's of any help to you, Steph, I'll tell you that in a lot of the luxury homes that we work on, the new builds, a lot of the builders are doing 10-foot on the main floor, 9-foot on the upper upstairs, and 10-foot in the lower level, sub-level. Yes, you can do more with light fixtures, but it's also so expansive, great feeling. That 10-foot is delish. If you can do it, I say do it. There it is. Sue is saying, is there a correct height for light over a kitchen table? Yeah, roughly 36, 35 inches. You might go a smidge lower than that, depending upon the fixture, or a smidge higher than that, depending upon the fixture. What do I mean by depending upon the fixture? Well, if the fixture has a couple of briolettes, crystal briolettes hanging from it, and its weight is carried higher, you might want to drop it a little bit lower in that range. But if a lot of the weight and the bulk of it is at the base of the fixture, you might want to respect that 36-inch height. It's really from the table to the base of the fixture. If you're at all ever in doubt, guys, when you're having your electrician install something, just tell them, do me a favor, leave me some extra chain and leave some extra wire coiled in the ceiling. So if I want to drop this fixture any lower, I can. You can always raise it up. Dropping it lower is the problem if they haven't left you some wire, okay? So that's what I would say. My lovelies, it is 4:30. I didn't get my two question call from Stephen. I've got an appointment I have to get to, so I'm going to start to wrap this baby up. I think I got to all the questions, which is good. All right, so here's what I want you to know. I am wishing you a beautiful and merry and bright Christmas and a fantastic, healthy, happy New Year. What a year we got through with COVID and this and that. So glad that we are just going to take a little time off to refresh. I hope you guys do the same thing. I can't wait to see you in the new year in 2021. We have some amazing things planned for you in 2021, so stick with us. But we're also going to be continuing our Facebook Lives every Tuesday, 4 p.m., and we've got a great calendar planned for you, and we've used a lot of your suggestions as well for topics, so thank you for those. When we get back together, it will be on January 5th, the new year, and we're going to be talking about how to set yourself up for interior design success in 2021. How to set yourself up for interior design success in your home for 2021. I will see you here then, my lovelies. I'm sending you a big hug, a big kiss. I just have loved being here with you all year, and I can't wait to see what you create in your home in the upcoming year. Happy and healthy to you and your families. Bye. Merry Christmas. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.